I, on behalf of Institution of Engineers and Association of Consulting Civil Engineers, welcome you all for this wonderful celebration on the top on the World Habitat Day, which is being celebrated on first Monday of October for every year. And first Monday was there on 3rd. And because of certain, Durga Devi and other commitments, we have shifted it to 7th of.
आवाज येत नाही आवाज. संदीप आवाज येत नाही है.
Okay, I'll just check.
I'm getting it all right.
Voice is clear, sir.
Yeah, whether I'm audible now?
No,
Yeah,
you are
audible.
audible. Some problem is there.
Audible.
Mundle sir's problem. That problem is Mundle sir's problem.
Okay. So once again, I restart for Sumant and the team.
संदीप आवाज येत नाही है.
तो मुंडले सरांचा स्वतःचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे तो.
Yeah. So I welcome you all for the celebration of World Habitat Day here. This year's theme is Mind the Gap, Leave No One and Place Behind. This means we need to do something as far as urbanization is concerned, as far as creating a habitation for the urban citizens is concerned. And that is the purpose why the United Nations has given this theme this year. That is Mind the Gap, Leave No One and No Place Behind. यानी किसी को हमें पीछे छोड़ना नहीं है, सबको साथ में लेकर हमें काम करना है. माइंड द गैप, वो हमें गैप को कम करना है. और ये थीम के साथ आज यहाँ हम एकत्रित हुए हैं. On behalf of Association of Consulting Civil Engineers Nagpur Center and the Institution of Engineers Nagpur Local Center, I welcome you all. For the formal welcome address, I request Chairman of Institution of Engineers to please address us and the welcome our guest Surya Prakash on this occasion.
Hello, good evening. I am Milind Pathak, Chairman, Institution of Engineers Nagpur Local Center. Engineer Surya Prakash ji, today's chief guest and keynote speaker. Engineer Patankar sir, Chairman ACCE Nagpur Center. Dr. Sandeep Shirkedkar, convener of this program. And Dr. J.F. Agrawal, Honorary Secretary, IEI NLC. Distinguished members of IEI Nagpur Local Center, IEI Maharashtra State Center, and ACCE, all the centers of Nagpur, Amravati, and Vidarbha. I welcome you all for the World Habitat Day celebration today. World Habitat Day celebration today. It's a fortune. We are fortunate that we have a fantastic speaker today, who is himself working and doing a lot of work in urbanization and doing
Affordable housing.
And doing a lot of work in affordable housing. See, as my Dr. Sandeep Shirkedkar has mentioned, that the theme this year is Mind the Gap.
आवाज नहीं आ रही संदीप.
Hello.
सर आवाज नाही येते तुमचा.
Yeah, audible.
Now it is audible.
आता आवाज
Now
येतोय?
audible. आता येत आहे आवाज.
Thank you. As the theme for this World Habitat Day goes, Mind the Gap. In India, we specifically think that today we are more equipped to bridge the gap between urban and rural. Why so? Because if you look back, when America progressed in say 1950s, they had built a network of highways, super highways for or the infrastructure for doing the connectivity between the different areas, that is urban cities and rurals. and that is why it prospered more and catapult to the development. But in today's world, when a lot of new technologies are coming like AI, big data, megaverse, and others, these concrete highways is not going to help us. But what we need is the digital super highways. And yes, we are already equipped with it. Because if you look, India is the only country which is doing maximum use of digital highways. आप एक कप चाय भी पीते हो तो 10 रुपए चाय वाले को आप 10 रुपए डिजिटल से पे कर सकते हो, and that is the beauty of it. Since we have this super highway, now the bridging the gap between urban and rural areas in India is very much visible, and that is actually should happen. We will learn and listen to the speaker incoming who is going to talk on this topic. He will elaborate more, but this is what actually is required. To put it in 4 lines, I would say that हमारी आरजुओं ने ही हमें इंसान बनाया है, वरना जब हम जहां में आए थे हम बंदे खुदा के थे. इतनी भी बात अगर हम याद रखें तो हम ये गैप भर के निकाल सकते हैं. आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट एंड हैंड ओवर द माइक टू संदीप.
Thank you, Milind Pathakji, Chairman of the Institution of Engineers, Nagpur Local Center, for his very befitting welcome address on the occasion of celebration of this World Habitat Day. So I again welcome one and all here. To speak on this subject, today we have Engineer P. Surya Prakash, who is from the city of Hyderabad. Because of his busy schedule, he could not make it here physically, but we are very fortunate that he has consented to be present, his experience with us, to share his experience with us in online mode. And I'm very thankful to each one of you for joining this program in online mode. I understand that it has certainly caused certain inconvenience to many of you, because at a very short notice, we were required to change this pattern from offline to online. But thanks to this COVID technology, COVID era, which we have experienced, we are very much used to this online mode, and that is why more than 50 engineers have already joined this particular proceeding. I welcome you one and all. So we have with us Engineer P. Surya Prakash, who has certainly done a very good work as far as affordable housing and other infrastructure projects in this country and in this world are concerned. So when looking into his experience in this industry, we thought let us listen to him, because see, affordable housing is a need of time, and for the every city in this country and in this world needs this sort of infrastructure. And Surya Prakash is himself working on it, and his hands-on experience on various aspects of the modern technologies which are being used for affordable housing will certainly enhance the skill of we the civil engineers and we the technocrats of this country. Engineer P. Surya Prakash is an eminent engineer. He was a past president of Association of Consulting Civil Engineers, and he has done a lot of things for Association of Consulting Civil Engineers, and he elevated this association at a very different height during his tenure. He is also a council member from the Institution of Engineers. He is a consultant and mentor who has made a significant contribution to the civil engineering. Engineer Surya Prakash obtained bachelor's degree in civil engineering from JNTUK in 1986, and he did MS in structures in 1990 from IIT Madras. After working for 6 years as a design engineer, he established Satyavani Projects and Consultants Private Limited, for which he is a managing director since 1994. He is also a founder and mentor of Smart Infrastructure, a trust dedicated to civil engineering to enhance employability and employment. He was a president of ACCE, as I told you, and founding president of PSI since 2013. Engineer Surya Prakash professional membership is he is a fellow member of Institution of Engineers. He is fellow member of Association of Consulting Civil Engineers. He is member of ICI, IRC, and many other organizations. And he is a council member of the IEA in a civil engineering division for the year 2021-25. He has also authored a book on design and implementation of communication towers. Engineer Surya Prakash is a great training faculty at ESCI Hyderabad and CIRE on the CAD of transmission line towers. He is a chief resource person for many institute and many engineering organizations. He was the organizing secretary for WISE 2004. Many of you may be aware of this particular event, which was organized at Hyderabad. He organized workshop on PepsCon 2013 and many Maycon, EIA, and many other activities. He has contributed as an expert committee member on the seismic damage structures. He was appointed as an expert committee member by Andhra Pradesh government for review of various projects, including affordable housing. This means he was also a expert committee member for affordable housing projects to review the affordable housing projects in capital Amravati and as far as in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Surya Prakash ji participated in several international conferences, and his biodata is too long. Engineer Surya Prakash handled several prestigious projects during past 3.5 decades. Since last 35 years, he has been working on various infrastructure projects. He undertook affordable housing, building residential, commercial, office, IT building, industrial building, hospitals, hostels, infrastructures, road, bridge, metro rail, runways, hangars, logistic parks, leisure theme parks, stadium, transmission line towers, TV, microwave and cellular towers, providing architectural engineering and project management services. The prestigious clients include Ministry of Defense, ILFS, Tech Mahindra, GVK, GMR, BSNL, Idea, Airtel, Tata, Saket, Manjira, Janapriya, Ashoka, etc. So he has got a hands-on experience on working with many international corporate giants, and he's delivering his expertise in the field of civil engineering, architectural planning, and civil engineering design. To my opinion, he's a befitting person to deliver a talk on this occasion of World Habitat Day. And the topic which he has selected is the modern technologies which are being used for the affordable housing. As we have discussed, affordable housing and the technologies for affordable housing is need of time. I request Engineer Surya Prakash ji to please share his thoughts on this topic, and will specifically would like to listen about the various affordable housing projects which he is handling. Sir, your experience certainly would be very helpful for we all the civil engineer or technocrats of this country. Over to you, Surya Prakash sir.
Thank you, Sandeep ji, for such a great introduction. And good evening to all my fellow professionals, engineers from across the country. And I first of all thank Nagpur ACCE Center and Nagpur Local Center of Institution of Engineers for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on the topic which is close to my heart, which I have been working in almost last 16 years on affordable housing. So I'll start sharing my presentation today on the topic that we have chosen on the eve of this World Habitat Day. And we all know, as introduced before, the World Habitat Day theme of this year is Mind the Gap, Leave No One and Place Behind. And
Sir, please start your video, sir, please. Surya Prakash, sir, please start your video.
Actually, I'm sorry, I'm not in my place, and
Okay.
it is giving, my laptop is not identifying my camera. Maybe WebEx setting. I don't know how to change it. That's why.
Okay. No
I
problem.
tried actually, but I couldn't succeed. Probably if my IT guy was there, I would have done it. Please bear with me for today. I'll certainly share some of the photographs of me. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
So, looks at the problem of growing inequality and challenges in cities and human settlements. In fact, my connection to this topic goes back to 2005, when I attended a lecture by then President Abdul Kalam ji. When in Pan IIT meeting, he asked all the engineers to rise to the occasion to provide housing for poor at 1 lakh rupees. It really stirred my mind. It really stirred my thoughts as an engineer, what I'm doing for this housing. So I thought I should start working on this housing, and I have been working since 2006, as I said, on affordable housing. So today I've chosen this topic as Habitat Gap, Housing for All, which is our Government of India scheme since 2014, and by regulation and technology. This is my solution I'm offering or suggesting today to all the engineers to work for it. So with this brief background, and we all know the meaning of the theme of World Habitat Day is mind the gap. There is a gap, actually, huge gap. Whichever cities we go, we find urban poor, urban rich, and they are living together. We both need each other, actually, but still the housing needs are not taken care for the poor. And leave no one and place. Place means, as Sandeep said, rural and urban. In fact, in rural, we have more gap of housing, actually, housing shortage in the rural areas, more than the urban, to my surprise. And so I'll be sharing that data today briefly, and then go on to the actual technology solutions that I have worked on, and then come up with a small suggestion on the regulation also. This is my presentation today. So housing challenges for economic weaker sections and LIG categories, and regulatory mechanism. We are seeing central government comes up with a policy, and state governments have to implement that policy. But we are seeing, we all know, I'm sure all of you know, when the central government has come up with a policy that every housing project should have 20% allocation to EWS and LIG, we have seen how the powerful builders lobby has shunted it out. And finally, it has come to that level that the builder will pay only 500 rupees per square feet to the government, and they get the permission for doing the housing. In fact, that was a very good theme, but because probably the policy is not strong enough and it didn't succeed. Next challenge is funding for these projects. In fact, no poor person who is working will be funded for his house acquisition, because there is no fixed income or there is no proof of income, because he can't file IT returns, the person earning 10,000 rupees or fluctuating income every month. Next challenge that we are facing is land and infrastructure. For sudden addition of, suppose, let us say we have 6 crore houses shortage in our country, and if we have to build in the coming 5 years, how do you meet the demand of the infrastructure, that is power, water, drainage, sewage treatment, and roads, all the infrastructure? So we have to come to a conclusion that construction technologies are the only answer that can solve. Because another reason behind finding this construction technology as the solution is, I have studied in Telangana state, for example, a sample data of last 30 years, housing, how many houses are allocated for implementation. You will all be surprised, 6 lakh houses were allocated for construction. Only 3 lakh houses have commenced the construction after the contract and all, out of which 1.5 lakh houses only are completed. And in that, finally occupied or registered houses and allotted to end user is only 60,000 houses. And today, if you go and visit these 60,000 also, only 10,000 families are living, and that too are all are antisocial. So there are many challenges in housing. It is not just construction. It is the location and land availability and the amenities and the utilities to be provided. It should be a complete house, actually. We cannot say because he's poor, we need not give power or we need not provide road, all these things. So this is a challenge, and I find that if we adopt technology, that means time should be short. The fixed time, fixed cost should be the contract. And we have done this contracts also in Hyderabad recently, and we were successful in implementing. That's what I'll share today with you. And major thing that I have found I was an expert committee member in Andhra Pradesh affordable housing project, where also again 15 lakh houses were sanctioned by the government. That means CLSS scheme, and out of which 7 lakh houses were tendered. out of which 4 lakh houses work commenced and only 80% to 90% work completed, and none of the houses are handed over in 4 years. And after that, government changed, and new government didn't want to go with that policy of the housing. Again, the whole construction that is done, the money spent has gone waste. So this is it is really heartburn that I am with, that I want to share this topic with all the engineers, that every engineer has to work for delivering these houses. Next is the operation and maintenance. This is another biggest challenge in the houses. We build the houses, but if we don't give provision for operation and maintenance, like we provide elevator, elevator has to be maintained, and we provide water supply. Somebody has to pay for the maintenance, and these poor people cannot pay the maintenance. So I have come across in Telangana state, where we have worked on the project, the provision was made in the planning itself, where they generate income. The affordable housing project, we have made some shops, some community centers and all that, where each community will generate income for maintenance. So the same thing has to be adopted in all the housing projects, where operation and maintenance is also taken care. So these are the main issues to be addressed when we talk about affordable housing. So this is the gap we are seeing. In fact, in 2005, same day when I was going for a meeting to attend Abdul Kalamji's meeting, my wife was with me, and she was asking, after seeing this picture in Mumbai, what is this? You find such a horrible slum, and at the same time, rich people, best houses in the next vicinity. It's a really biggest gap that we see, and we have to bridge this gap as engineers with the technology and providing solutions and coming up with the proper regulation. Next is slums, actually. Slums and bastis we call in Hyderabad. We have in Hyderabad 2,000 bastis, and Bombay, we all know, Dharavi is the biggest slum in the world, and people live in horrible conditions. Leave alone hygiene, leave alone house. It cannot be even called a house. So we have seen 1 in every 4 people will live in slum by 2030, and that is overall. And if you take only urban condition, 1 in 3 will be living in slums. So in some countries, as much as 90% of people, urban population, live in slums actually. So this is a challenge that we have to take care. When we talk about habitat, when we talk about housing, this is what we have to work for solving the problem. So rapid population growth, we are seeing the world population has crossed already 7 billion. And India also, we are seeing population crossing 1.4 billion and heading towards 1.6 billion. And limited land supply, there is no land increase with population, and migration rural to urban, and high birth rates and competing land use. That is the major problem actually. Land use, if we start converting every agricultural land into residential also is a challenge. So we have to find a solution with the technology, with high-rise constructions. We should reduce the land use, like we are seeing in Hong Kong city, where the small normal house is itself 360 square feet. Probably every city there should be a regulation. The density of population increasing beyond certain level, there should be a condition of limiting the house areas, particularly in certain concentrated areas. So let us come to the data on the housing. In urban, there is a shortage of 18.8 million, and in rural, there is a 43.7 million shortage. And out of that 43.7 million, below BPL is 39.3. That is the biggest challenge actually. So there is a shortage for the poor only. Whereas we have the data that 20 million houses are not occupied in above MIG level. So they're not useful, though they are constructed. So this is the widest gap we are seeing. Homeless in urban India is 0.53 million, that means 5.3 lakh. Vacant houses in urban is 11.09 million. Next is the data state-wise population living in slums. Indian average is, sorry, I'm getting some annotation request. I cannot entertain right now. And India, it is about 25% people living in slums average, and we are seeing, sorry, the other countries, Brazil and all are lesser. South Asia and Vietnam, China are above India average. And in our Indian country, the total is 25%, as I said, close to 25%. And we have the states like Haryana, Chhattisgarh. Haryana means mainly Gurgaon, we know. And Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra. Maharashtra is Mumbai again. Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal. These are all the states where we have the highest percentage of state urban population. Next is the homeless population. If you see, the percentage of total population is, if you see 40% is the homeless in Chandigarh, is the highest actually. And we have all the states, and lowest is Mizoram and highest is this. So, and also from 1961 to 2011, if you see the data, the homeless population, sorry, I'm not able to see the screen. Yeah. The homeless population is growing. The gap is growing actually in the states. We next is the urban housing shortage. As I said, urban housing shortage is less, and there is a huge gap. Poor don't have houses, and rich have houses, more houses. They are not occupied. This is the biggest gap which we have to mind and work on it. Next is ratio of affordability. If we see, unfortunately, the affordability of the poor by percentage is less for lower income groups actually. That is a challenge actually. When they don't have disposable income, they can't afford a house. So it is the responsibility of the government and various social responsibility of the various corporate to provide housing for the lower income groups. This is the challenge we are seeing. Next is the, hello? Can you hear to me? Yeah. So ratio of completed houses versus sanctioned houses by state. This is another biggest thing. As I said, the government is coming up with the policy. They are sanctioning the subsidies to the poor, but ultimately it is not reaching the poor. This is the challenge I was telling. We can see from this data, PMAY is from 2014, the Housing for All scheme has come, and 2.66 lakhs was the CLSS scheme. And government has sanctioned as per the plan for 2 crore houses subsidy. But how many of them are completed, if you see, is dismal. Out of 2 crores, what is claimed here, 15 lakhs is sanctioned in Andhra Pradesh, as I said. But none of the house is occupied after 6-8 years now. So this is the challenge we are seeing. And next is the EWS and LIG categories, financial constraints faced by. The funding is the biggest problem. So now, policy and regulation, we need a radical change. Housing loan policy, we all know, which was brought since 1959, has changed the entire middle class and upper middle class lives. None of us could have owned a house if there is no housing loan policy with subsidy on the interest rates. It is very attractive, and every one of us are able to afford house, maybe more than one, more than two also. But when it comes to poor, they are not eligible for loan. They can't pay the EMI. So the only way we have to urge the government, if the government of India provides free house, let us say, like what is done in Telangana, it was done. 8 lakh rupees worth house is given free to the poor people. They have constructed 2 lakh houses with the 2-bedroom, where I worked, and I shared the project construction technology with which we could do fixed time, fixed cost delivery. So same way, if the government of India, there are 4 crore houses shortage, as we can see, and 6 lakhs if government of India spends, we have to spend 24 lakh crores over a period of 6 years, 10 years also, if you can plan this, free housing for all the poor. This should be done by the government of India. And no involvement of state government or government agencies, actually. It should be by PPP mode, or the government should buy these things from the developers who own the land, or government should build it on its land by EPC mode directly and deliver it to the poor people. So this is the regulation change. Of course, it's not our engineer's job, but I'm finding, because last 60 years, 6 decades, the percentage of houses delivered is only 10%, according to my study. So there is no point in government spending the money. Money is spent, but they are not delivered. So how do we make it happen also? I am suggesting. Next is the affordable housing in India. Globalization is the trend now. We are seeing foreign construction companies entering our country with a lot of technologies. BMTPC has shortlisted 24 technologies, out of which we found that 3-4 concrete use technologies are very good actually and very viable. And by now, we all have seen how the rigid monolithic construction using my one formwork has become very handy, and it has become very common, and delivering the good quality in time with a fixed cost. And next is the precast construction technology. So further in precast itself, we have 20 different methods and technologies which we have to study depending on the project, timeline, and size of the project. So we have done that working on different plans prepared for MIG, EWS first, EWS categories and LIG categories, and we have modeled them, how it can be repetitive mode and how it can be built like in blocks, and how a precasting can be, it is like an industrial production that can be planned. And we developed these LIG houses, MIG houses, and a layout with a mixed thing. If we just build only LIG or only EWS, it's not sustaining. So we have to build the communities with a mix of EWS and LIG, because everyone needs working class. And we have to provide working class close to their working area. So this is the biggest challenge, and we have done that planning. And so just for a concept I have shown. We have done another housing, affordable housing project in AP. We conceptualized with the mix of EWS, LIG, and all the amenities and even employment creation. So this is the planning that we have done. Satellite township details with all the amenities like school, college, fire, police station, security, safety, utilities, everything is planned. So it is just to show the idea for these kind of houses that we have done. And next is I'll quickly come to the technology, because I want to spend more time on the technology of construction and the delivery challenge in the project. So these are all the different types of projects we have done. And we also done rehabilitation and resettlement where independent houses, that is with the 600 square feet in 150 square yards. Also, we have done for 2,000 families a township with all the amenities, utilities. And we also have developed the economic township where we have developed the housing along with the economic drivers like industry, commercial activity, office, and all that. So these are all the economic townships that we have planned. And even for Tamil Nadu Housing Board, we have done some concepts. So this is the project I want to share more details today as the technology solution for affordable housing. This is a dignity housing for economic weaker sections developed by Telangana state government. And the format is each house will have 2 bedrooms and 2 toilets, kitchen and living room. And it will have the parking, two-wheeler parking for all the inmates. It is constructed in 11 floors, 2 stilts and 11 floors. In the 2 stilts, some commercial shopping also is created. This is a community of 4,000 houses actually. So 4,000 families are going to live here. And what we have done is, as you can see in the color of these buildings, I have just, this blue color is for precast. We have done these blue color buildings in precast and brown color buildings in conventional, and the green color buildings in my one rigid monolithic construction. In fact, this Telangana government probably is the only government I have seen, I have come across, where the entire contracting is left to the engineering department. And the policy making, there is no interference of the politicians in allotment of the contracts. There is a reason for my mentioning all this, because everywhere else I am seeing the problem. Whereas here, the 2 lakh houses, the contracting is done by engineering department only. With my personal involvement, I am telling. I have seen chief engineer being authorized to allot the contracts, but the price is fixed, 1,285 rupees per square feet, and time is fixed, 12 months delivery. But what is flexible is technology. In fact, I worked a little bit on that, making the government to issue a GO. In any contract, technology is not fixed. Contractor is allowed to deploy any technology. So in the same housing project of 1 lakh houses, tunnel form is used, my one is used, precast is used, conventional is used, and contractor is not forced to adopt one particular technology. Because of that, what I have done in this project is I advise the contractor as a mitigation of risk in cost and time management. I have adopted 3 technologies. So precast is adopted. In fact, because of that, the last 4 blocks that we have constructed were completed in 4 months. And we could deliver that happened because the land handing over was delayed by 6 months. So we had to complete the last 4 towers in 4 months' time. And that was possible only because of the precast, including the finishes. 11-storied building completed in 4 months. And all others, I'll show the pictures, that will be better. So this is the completed photograph. So once the project is completed, you can't even know which is precast, which is my one, and which is conventional. So that's how it is planned and constructed, so that people don't know which technology is used. Ultimately, they need the built-up area and all the utilities and everything. This is a photograph from the long shot for the entire project after completion. And this is the left side one is the conceptual 3D model, and the right side one is the actual photograph after completion of the project. And these are all the individual buildings. And this is during construction, actually. So we have simultaneously, you can see precast happening here on the right side bottom. The precast panel erection has started, and other side conventional work is going on. By the time conventional is finished, we finished the precast also. That is the advantage of using precast, because we don't have plastering, we don't have scaffolding required for external plaster. We didn't do external plaster. We didn't do internal plaster also in this precast houses. So this is again, you can see here also, you see the precast still going on while the civil work of the conventional is completed. But by the time finishings are done for the conventional, precast is also completed. Next is, as I said, technology is the answer for all the problems. This is what Abdul Kalamji said in 2005, which has gone into my mind. Then I started working on these technologies. So now the latest technology that we are trying to implement is 3D modular precast. I'll share a video of a house that we have done in Ludhiana in Punjab. And 3D volumetric construction, that is the rigid monolithic construction we are talking about. And the next is the large panel construction. For housing particularly, because whenever we talk about precast to anyone, the immediate question that comes is it leak proof? Is it joints strong? Is it earthquake proof? This is the questions people get. So to solve that, large panel construction is the answer. we reduced the number of joints from 17 to 6 actually in the large panel construction. That means we have the joints only in the corners and only between the slab and the walls. And within the slab, we have joints over the walls only. So this is the large panel construction. So these are all the large panel construction examples that are completed in Mumbai and others. And this is the modules and panels. You can see large panels here and a combination of module and large panels in this construction. So these are the large panels, what I'm talking about. So earlier, we had to keep the smaller panels or standardized panels for production without orders. But here we do the customized production. We set up the plant near the project site only. Even for 2,000 houses, we can set up a casting yard near the plant site only. That's what we did in the previous 4,000 houses also. So large panels, we can do it with the lowest cost precast tables, tilting table or static tables also. So this is the tilting table. You are seeing demolding of wall panel, and left side is the wall panel table mold, and transportation of the table panels within the site and erection of the panels. And then this is a model house that is done at the site. You can see it's no way less than any of the MIG, LIG. Why should we? In fact, I always say that the EWS and LIG people require more quality houses because they can't maintain their houses. We have to give them the durable with less maintenance, less cleaning requirements actually. And this is the 3D modules. I'm just showing, this is not part of our project, but I'm showing the indicative plant diagram, photograph of a modular casting actually. So you will be casting slab and walls together as a rigid 3D module, 3D volumetric. So this is the automatic demolding, and the panel module can be taken out. And this is the reinforcement erection before casting, and this is the placing of the reinforcement into the mold and demolding, and you can see the module being taken out. And we have now these molds where we can produce about 3 modules within 2 days. That means about 1.5 module every day. So this is the time speed that we can develop. And this is the 3D module. And this is the erection of the modules. And this is the floor-to-floor erection of the modules. So this is the frame that is required for handling the modules. And this is after erection of the modules. So this is in fact, we have already worked on the costing and implementation of this project. And this is the video of model house that we have done with the 3D modular construction in Ludhiana. And this is what is my dream actually, that every poor man should get a house, not only house with all furnished and appliances also. And I found a client like Zodiac Housing who have worked out that commercial model. And even they will give an electric scooter along with the house. So in the living room, you have the refrigerator and wash basin. In bedroom, you have the cot. And cupboard even. And LED TV also is given along with the house. Cooler. Kitchen sink, platform with granite. And the gas stove actually. And the water purifier. dining table, refrigerator. Mixed wall and gas. Sofa come back and an electric stove. It's all precast house with the concrete thing. And this house is offered by my clients to the prospective buyers with the concept that whatever rent these people are paying, the low income group and EWS for their living, they should get this house with all the appliances and furniture, fixtures. So that's being achieved now. They are, in fact, this will be launched in many states. This project once we complete this Ludhiana project. So we have also done many other large residential projects which come under affordable housing, and we have done for defense housing also. I'll not go into there. Also, we tried implementing the technology because the biggest challenge that we face in housing projects is time actually. Without technology, the projects are getting delayed and there are escalations, there are litigations, and every project is going into arbitration actually. This is also Nuclear Power Corporation. We worked on housing concepts for quarters. That means it's not only the lower income groups and EWS. The technology is the answer for almost all the housing projects. And so these are all the housing projects that we have done. And I would like to have more time for discussion because all are professionals like me, and we can discuss and arrive at a solution rather than discussing on the problems. And we should recommend it to the government of India and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation. I request Nagpur Center and Nagpur Local Center to draft this outcome of our discussion and recommendations to the government. Whether they adopt it or not, as engineering professionals, we are here to solve problems, and let us send those solutions to Government of India. And I'm confident with this policy, and if the government, if there is a change in regulation of giving subsidies for the housing and all that, there can be a solution to the poor man's dreams of owning a house and living in a house proper. So with this, I will come to the end. These are all the houses we have done in Maiwan, or rigid monolithic construction, many of the houses. And interiors views are also given here. So these are all the interiors that are planned in this house. So I request the organizers to get the questions from the participants, and let us discuss and debate on the solutions that I am suggesting. And any information required on any of the project also I can share. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Surya Prakash, for your sharing nice experience and sharing various projects along with the technologies which you are using for execution of various projects. So thank you so very much for being a part of proceedings for the celebration of this World Habitat Day here at Nagpur. And we are here connected virtually along with more than 60 participants across the country. So yes, we really had a very wonderful technical presentation by Surya Prakash ji. I request if anyone of you has got any question, you can raise here, and I'll request Surya Prakash ji to please answer the queries of respected participants. Yes, now floor is open. You can raise your question. Kindly unmute yourself and please raise your question.
Sir, I am Srikanth from Bangalore. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Surya Prakash sir, excellent presentation. Thank you very much. and very elaborate, description of the statistics and other data. We are really thrilled to listen to you always, as usual. The one point that I would like to make here is our population increase, as you have mentioned, is say from 1.4 billion to 1.6 billion and all that. If the same thing continues, whatever the efforts we are going to make will not be sufficient. Whatever the way funds and other things are required, I think we need to concentrate more on the other side. That is to make the awareness about the. Of course, there is a separate that is not our domain. I can understand it, but still that is more worrying part than the building houses for the poor. Unless and until that is controlled, this is an impossible task, I feel. Thank you.
You gave the answer to your question. It's not in our hands. We
Yeah.
as engineers can only provide housing for the houseless. That's it. We'll let us work for it. And of course, if I have said 4 crore houses shortage, it may go to 8 crore houses shortage if we don't meet these 4 crores also. Otherwise, that 4 crore shortage will be floating around. So definitely, as I said, technology should be the answer for delivering such houses in such a short time at a fixed cost. Thank you, Srikantji, for your good words.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any more question?
Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Sir.
please.
Surya sir. Good
Yes,
evening,
sir.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
First of all, congratulations and thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Continue.
Thank you. My question is, as you have shown, different type of buildings. Some buildings with more than 10 floors, and few buildings with, say, only ground floor. Is ground floor required foundation if the construction work is done in precast?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Even a single floor building requires a foundation. The
Okay.
foundation is not only for bearing capacity, it is also for other factors like covering and erosion and what you call stability, overturning, all these aspects. So even a single story building requires proper foundation with a
Okay. In
minimum
that
depth
case,
of foundation. And we
okay.
all know the top layer of the soil is not undisturbed soil. So it is a disturbed soil. So we cannot have a foundation of any building on a disturbed soil.
So in that case, the cost of ground floor construction only will cost more, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Sandeep.
Yeah, yes. Uttarwar, sir, please.
No, sir, it's okay from our side. जो कुछ भी सुनने को मिला अच्छा लगा.
Any question from anyone?
Sir, hello? Hello?
Deepak ji, yes.
Hello?
Deepak ji, boliye.
Sir,
Hello. Sir, I'm Deepak from Mysore, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, as usual, your presentation was excellent. One thing is, what about the maintenance, sir? Maintenance of all those precast buildings.
Actually, that's what I explained. We have to, particularly when we work for EWS and LIG housing, whatever design we do, whatever concept we do, we have to develop such that it generates income for maintenance. We all know the minimum maintenance for any constructed building is 1 rupee per square feet, lowest possible. That is for water, common area power, and roads maintenance and waste maintenance and all that. So we can generate that income by developing certain common amenities which generate the income from the community. So that's what it is done in Telangana, Hyderabad particularly. So the data I can share if anyone wants, particularly how much income is being generated from common amenities that are built as part of the construction cost.
Yes, that's very important, sir. Actually, that maintenance cost down every year. Actually, I have seen rising by 1 rupee, 1.50 paise, something like that. But that should be a minimum.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Surya, sir.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Subodh Mundle again.
Yes, sir.
I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
So you have shown the project of 20 acre, which consists of 22 lakh more square foot construction area, right?
Yes, sir.
You have used three types of technologies there. One
Yes,
is
sir.
traditional, second one is manual shuttering, and third one is precast.
Yes, sir.
As per your opinion, which is the best technology by which we can go for low cost housing?
Yeah, as of now, it is my one only, rigid monolithic construction. In
Okay.
fact, I asked the contractor after 3 years which one he liked. He said he saves more money in my one, but he could save more money in my one only because other part they have done in conventional and precast.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Any more question?
Hello.
Sir, good evening, sir. Prakash, sir. It's a wonderful presentation, sir. I'm E from CPWD. Actually, that's what question I was having the doubt. There's three technologies you use it for the same project. Is it economical? And one thing is construction difficulties also will be there for executing the project by the same contractor. We're using the three different technologies. Instead of that, if you go for the only one technology, that will be better, I think.
No, it is definitely economics wise. We found it is more advantageous because the cost of blocks alone during that period 1 year has increased by 15%. Not no, sorry, not 15%, 30%, sir, within 3 months because of the sudden rise in the demand. Everybody is using blocks for the housing. So by distributing it to other technologies, we reduce the usage of blocks in our project. So the effect of cost increase is minimized, number one. Number two is the labor, skilled workers availability and the labor camp size itself, sir. Yeah, that's a very, very important point I did touch. In fact, we estimated if we had done that project completely on conventional, we would have required 30 acres of land for only labor camp. We were requiring 4,000 workers. If we have gone for all my one, we were requiring about 1,500 workers. Now, in this project, with three different technologies, we could handle with 2,000 workers on an average, and then 15 acres of land only for labor camp. So these are all the factors when we choose the technology or combination of technology and definiteness, definitive delivery of the project. Also, we have worked out and we deliver. So this is an example. In fact, I presented this case in an international conference on use of technologies and combination of technologies for ensuring delivery and ensuring the cost and time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So what I understood is only the delivery time and target you meant by doing that only by adapting the different technologies. That is the only the reason.
Exactly, sir.
Hello. Hello. Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, Surya Prakash, good evening, sir. This is Bhaskar from Rajahmundry, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, using this technology, can up to how many floors we can construct, sir? What is the earthquake aspect, sir?
Yeah, by precast, the highest number of floors constructed in the world is 52 floors with the modular 52, sir. 52 floors.
Okay.
And regarding the seismic resistant design, we can do it with any technology. There is no difference, much difference in the technology, because of the technology in the design.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Sir, is there any difficulties in providing fixtures like electrical, plumbing, etc., sir?
Yeah, actually, it requires prior planning, and once we do the construction, it is difficult to make any changes.
Okay,
We have to ensure
okay, okay.
fixed location of the switch boxes, light fixtures, plumbing fixtures, everything. We plan perfectly and do the model house, check everything thoroughly, and then follow the same thing for all the houses, for all the construction planning.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Wonderful session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Any question? I think no. So really, it was a very wonderful presentation, and you have handled the question and answer session very well. And I suppose every one of us is really enlightened with your experience and your thoughts on the entire process. Uh, on behalf of ACCI, may I request Chairman Nagpur Center for his concluding remark as well as the vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Namaskar. It was a nice presentation by my friend Mr. P. Surya Prakash ji, but we missed you to meet you personally. But anyway, you could make it finally possible to spread your words to entire our construction community, and I am very much thankful to you for that. And I am thankful to all the organizers, particularly our Vice President West, Sandeep Sirkhedkar ji, who was always after Surya Prakash ji to be here, but finally, uh, at least uh, on through this webinar, we could connect you to all our participants, all our members, and really it was a very wonderful presentation. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, dear all engineers, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you all for being a part of wonderful proceedings. It was really a nice celebration of World Habitat Day. I'm also thankful to the members who are present over here and who could attend it physically. And though it was in virtual mode, but yes, there were few members, around say 10-15 members, who reached here personally and could attend this webinar in an online come offline format. So thank you everyone for being with us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye, sir. I'll take leave and. Bye, Prakash. Thank you very much. I'll take leave of you. Sorry for all the inconvenience.
की तुम्ही काय काय करायचं आहे तर आपण नुसतं इन्स्टॉलेशन पर्यंत मर्यादित नाही राहू आपण ते
चला बंद करायचं.
Can I end the meeting, sir?
I think yes.
Yes, Diksha, please.